Yay! Woohoo! Welcome,
Yay!
everybody. This is the Jennifer Hammond, Merrill Chandler Fundability Hour. No, that's actually 15 minutes long, and but it's hard hitting with tons and tons of great insights into how you, as a real estate investor, business entrepreneur, can become fundable and get business credit lines, business loans, etc. So, Jennifer, what is it we're talking about today?
Well, I'm hailing from the city of Orlando, Florida this week because I'm at a real estate investing conference. And I have to say, talking with other real estate investors, one of the things that I realize is everyone is always looking for business lines of credit and renewable ones they can use over and
Yeah.
over and over. And as things are shifting this year in 2022, we're seeing that people are looking at, there's going to be foreclosures and short sales. That's just unfortunately, but we also have a very high confidence in the market, meaning that if people do get foreclosure or short sale, purchasing a property for a great price, now where am I going to get all of the funds that I need to be able to renovate
Yes.
that property
Yes.
and to get it back on the market? So, purchasing it, renovating it. So those are different lines of credit
Yeah.
and different funds. So we say
Uses.
pockets of
Yep.
money.
Use of
Yeah.
funds. Yeah, absolutely. So, couple of things first. Let's address some of the problems. Welcome, Craig. Glad to have you with us today. One of the things that we need to address first is that so many, because real estate investors haven't been taught. We've all been kind of misled about how the business credit works, and so many of us, because we don't know better, many of us are using our personal credit cards to rehab a house, right? And so one of the big problems that it comes from that is that every time you charge up your personal credit card, your fundability and your score go down, and it's literally up and down, up and down. And this is not, just like the stock market, this is not the way to create confidence in lenders and banks, etc. Right? They're watching
roller coasters are only fun when you go to Disney or an amusement park, right?
Not in how you use your personal finances or in the stock markets, right? So that's the big problem. Is many of us, most of us, use in some way or another our personal credit to fix things as we're getting ready to rehab or flip the house. So number one, we've got to move all of that activity over onto business credit, especially business credit that doesn't report to your personal. So that's kind of landmine number two. Landmine number one, using your personal credit for rehabbing. Landmine number two is thinking you're getting a business credit card when it's a credit card poser. If it reports to your personal profile, you guys, it's not business credit, because then it's the same every time you use it. Spark, business, Capital One Spark card, Discover, some American Expresses. You guys, every time you use it, it reports to your personal. And so once again, your profile, your score, your fundability is going up and down roller coaster style. No bueno. That's landmine number two. So how do we solve for this? We've got the way to avoid these landmines and effectively invest is to get business credit cards for those purchases, that we're going. You can get commercial accounts, not personal Lowe's or Home Depot accounts, but commercial Home Depot and Lowe's accounts, because those don't report to your personal profile. I have clients who have $250,000 in Home Depot credit lines, right? Amazing for flipping, because it doesn't harm your personal profile. It doesn't cause it to go up or down. And then we will also want bank credit cards, and for things that we would need to be able to buy that aren't at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah.
And we also want business credit lines. So that's where I want to spend the last few minutes here, Jennifer, is what is a business credit line and how useful is it? What can we do? Well, I love the word you said. It's a renewable resource. It's like literally charge it up, pay it off, charge it up during a flip, pay it off after sale, charge it up, pay it off. It is a business credit line that does not report to your personal profile, is what we call in my tribe the trophy credit line. It means that you're winning the credit and funding game, that you're an all-star, and that you're total pro at knowing how this game works. So a credit line is not a credit card. And please be aware, another little mini landmine, a credit line is not a credit card with convenience checks. Those are not credit lines. A credit line is you transfer those funds to your checking account, and you can write and take down a deal. Now, in the current, it's slowing a little bit, and you can weigh in on this, Jennifer, but from what you're learning at the conference. But we need to understand that cash makes the fastest deals happen. If you can walk into a place, make an offer, and say, I'll write you a check that's right now, that's good if you accept my offer. Or some buyers are willing to take a little bit lower because they're not waiting for funding somewhere else, right?
Or the funding that, funding a lot of times with the mortgages right now are unreliable. Yeah. And maybe it's because the appraisal didn't come in where they wanted it. Or maybe it's just because the mortgage companies are so backed up with refinances, or whatever the reason is. When you're having to wait for another entire department, the underwriting department to fund it, cash is always going to be king to get the deal done super fast. So having that line of credit, like you said, and not a credit card with checks
is going to help you take down that deal, right? And so imagine now that the banks right now, we had a client. This is awesome news for you. We had a client who just 2 weeks ago finished their first round of funding. 2 banks, $50,000 each, for a total of $100,000 at 4%. 4% was the credit line. Imagine how much money you get to keep in your pocket when and remember, all of these go into business checking accounts, you guys. So if you have 2-3 banks at 50 to 100 grand each, you just consolidate that money, write the check, do the deal, and then you have 3 months, 6 months, whatever months to pay it off. There is a formula for that when you get into the nitty gritty, but now you can flip a property, and even if it takes 6 months, which it's likely not to, but even if it takes 6 months, you can carry that at 4%, 5%. This is crazy talk. So this is the value of those credit lines.
And the thing to know about that is, as you just said, there's always more strategies. Excuse me, of course. I think it's so important that people know about the boot camp. Let's make sure we mention the boot camp.
Yeah.
So that if you want to get into this, I mean, you need to know, like, it's like a fingerprint. Everything is going to be a little bit unique to your business, to you, your funnel, to what you want, whatever your model is. So let's talk about the boot camp a little bit.
Yeah. So these are what we're talking about right here is kind of is a setup. If you want to learn more, deep dive, 2 days, 16 hours of these strategies on how to prepare for these kinds of credit lines, what the strategies are, how to set up your business to make sure it's fundable, all those things. You want to go to getfundablejennifer.com, the Fundability Bootcamp. Now, awesome. It starts this Friday, Jennifer. GetfundableBootcamp.com. Okay. Getfundablejennifer.com. You can see it across the banner on the bottom. That's going to take you, just read the reviews, you guys. Read the reviews. Hey, Derek, glad to have you joining us. We are this boot camp gives you everything you need, and the principles, the strategies on exactly what and why and how this process works, and then you can take it from there. You're able to take all of this intel and start customizing it, just like Jennifer said. You make your financial fingerprint specific to you.
And that's so important, so that you can do any kind of rehabbing and be really, one of the things I also think is so important that people forget is that this does take a little bit of time. This is not overnight. It can't be done instantaneously. Right, Merrill? So you need to spend a little bit of time getting this set up and done in the right way. Because if you do it in the wrong sequence, So 2 things I just wanted to end with to make sure we talk about quickly is that there is a sequence, and that's why I recommend coming to the boot camp, because it is unique to whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
but also
exactly.
that it isn't something that happens overnight. I mean, it can happen fast, and it depends on what your goals are and what and also how you define fast. But
Yes.
it's not instant, right?
Yes, no, that is correct. These are building long-term relationships. Now, it doesn't take long-term to get the money. We want to build lifetime relationships with banks who want to keep giving us these credit lines for the rest of our financial lives, you guys. So there are certain
Oh my
structures and
goodness, did we
protocols.
just lose Merrill?
Oh no,
He'll
I'm
be
here.
back momentarily.
Oh,
I'm still
I think
on.
you're.
I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So we're here as well. So somewhere somehow we'll wrap this up. But you guys, this is an opportunity to find out exactly what it is you need to do right now. And the boot camp, you will learn how you stand up against current underwriting guidelines and know exactly what you need to do to move forward. So come get fundablejennifer.com. Read the reviews. You're going to see for yourself that your peers, people just like you, sitting in a chair just like you right now, are have been blown away by the amount, not just of knowledge, but how to implement this newfound knowledge to get to business credit cards that don't report to personal, business lines of credit, business loans, etc. So we would love to see you at the boot camp so that you can learn all of this and keep moving forward.
Sounds great. Thank you, Merrill. Thanks for
Absolutely.
everything.
We'll see you guys on the inside. Have a wonderful rest of your conference, Jennifer. Okay.
Thank you. I'll see you
Bye
later.
now.
Bye-bye.